So, you know that we here at Sage Presence talk a lot about presence. We talk a lot about your presence and a lot about how you can elevate your presence and help the presence of people around you. I want to talk about it in a slightly different context this time, and that's how you read into the presence of other folks in your day-to-day interactions. We have worked with a lot of folks who I think would self-identify as introverted intellectual types who think a lot and who kind of reach conclusions internally. And so we've worked with a lot of folks who will read the body language of the people they're talking to, and they will make conclusions like, oh, he's not interested. I have totally lost her. He's working on something else right now. They couldn't possibly care less. It's totally fine to have thoughts like that. I do want to encourage folks who do reach negative conclusions like that, and at least have them recognize that these conclusions are perhaps premature, that there's not 100% evidence that supports these conclusions. And the reason I say that is these conclusions can drag your presence down. You know, I used to be the kind of person who would go to a networking event and I would circle around and make attempted brief attempts to interact with other folks, and I would very quickly, very easily conclude that they weren't interested in having a conversation with me, and I would bail. And the whole time would have been, it would have been wasted. Just all the time and energy that I took to even go to this thing was a total waste. And it left me absolutely questioning my whole path. So what I instead recommend is, when you do notice that you are making decisions about what another person's presence is communicating to you, that you, at the very least, question the validity of your conclusion. If you can question it, maybe you can test a different theory. So sometimes people are totally listening to you, but their body language communicates that they're not. So my business partner, Dean, very often will doodle while he is listening to a presentation. And the doodling doesn't distract him from the contents of the words. What he says, and I totally believe him, is that the doodling actually allows him to strengthen his focus on the words. So instead of getting lost in something visual, he's just doing something with his hands while his brain is able to focus in on the words. It's quite possible that when you're talking to someone, they are doing something like that. If you can open yourself up to the possibility that your conclusion is wrong, see if you can choose a different possibility that leaves you in a better place and therefore produces a higher quality presence for you. If you can't do that, maybe what you can do is just reach out to the person and check in on them. You know, ask what they're thinking, ask how what you're talking about is landing on them, not in any sort of accusatory way, like, hey, did I lose you? Are you daydreaming? But more like, hey, Joe, what do you think about this topic? And see how they respond. Maybe you are interrupting them from a distracted thought or from a different activity, but it doesn't have to be a problem. You know, maybe you have created the opportunity for them to start paying attention now and to re-engage in the topic now. try that on. See if you can detach yourself from certain negative conclusions that you naturally make by spotting something in a person, and create the opportunity for newer, different, more empowering conclusions and interpretations. Give that a shot and let us know how it goes for you.